What is that behind me? Is that a almost finished power plant for the KX250 build? It absolutely is. Today, what we're going to be doing is finishing up the engine for the KX250 build. Now, I say almost finished because I'm waiting on two things, and that is a stator and a clutch. But we are nearly done with the engine build on the KX250, and it is looking so nice. I couldn't help myself. I dropped it in the frame at the end of the video. You guys will be seeing that dropped into the frame, but it's finally time to get this build done on the engine. You guys remember from the last episode on the engine build, I was waiting a while because I wasn't too sure on what I was going to do. I made up my mind, I decided, and I think it really worked out. So let me know what you think of the engine build for this bike. Let's go ahead and not waste any time, jump right into the engine build. We're just going to be kind of hanging out today, building this engine. It is wicked hot, so no rush on anything. We're just going to be chilling out and build this engine with me. So if you guys are interested, this is the video for you. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so this is pretty much where we left off on the KX250 engine build. You guys can see we got the bottom end all together, and why I stopped on the KX250 engine and why I stopped on the engine build is I wasn't too sure on what I was going to be doing with the cylinder head. So I'm going to be showing you guys that later in the video. It might surprise you guys, but I actually think it's going to look pretty good all put together after looking at the pictures and kind of brainstorming. So we're going to be going ahead and putting all the components in this inner clutch cover. We're just kind of going to be doing a hangout video today, just kind of slowly putting this engine together. It is roughly 95 degrees in the shop today, so the floor is sweating. I don't have AC in here, so it's a hot one. So all right, so we're gonna go ahead with our kickstart gear right off the rip. Get that guy in there. It's definitely been very busy lately here at CBB. I've been working on CBB 3D quite a bit, doing designs and working on setting up the printer, getting different materials printed, getting everything, getting a whole bunch of new stuff out. So a lot of focus been going in that lately. It's been going well. We haven't been super busy with sales and stuff like that, but that's okay. I definitely did want a slow start for CBB 3D, just so I didn't get overwhelmed right off the bat or anything. But that has been going very good. I said it was so hot, my garage floor is sweating. Look at this. I'm gonna go down mid-video. I'm gonna just, whoop, done. It's so slick. Okay, so this clutch basket wasn't all that notched out and bad. So what I'm gonna do, just like I did with the YZ, is file down the high parts of it. Don't be like me. Don't forget your washer. You will have terrible luck if you do that. That spaces out the clutch basket from this crank gear here, or the water pump drive gear, and this gear here. If you don't have that washer in there, it'll be rubbing bad, and you will not have very long on the engine. Everything feels nice and smooth, no binding. It feels really good to be back and working on the KX250 build. This build has been taking a while, as you guys can see. It's definitely behind schedule. I actually kind of wanted to have the bike done, or not done, but very close to done by the end of the summer. So I think if I push hard enough, I can do it. But like I said in one of my previous videos, I did take a break to fire up the 3D printing business. If you guys missed it, I am designing and printing my own 3D printed moto tools, and it's also moving into bike accessories as well. I just got to get an upgrade on the printer I have because I want to start printing a couple materials like nylon. The Cowie build definitely went on the back burner for a little while, but it does feel super good to be back, and hopefully I can hit my goal of having it done by the end of summer. I think if I try hard enough, I can get there. All right, time to torque this clutch hub down. And one tool I learned that works actually really well for it. This tool is actually for doing timing chains on an Audi A6. This is to hold on to the actual cam phaser, and so you can torque down the spec. It actually works quite well for clutch hubs. It sneaks in there pretty well. I haven't regretted it yet, so okay. Okay, Well, I just said that worked really well for most bikes. This one, it's not going to work. So I thought I bought a clutch, and apparently I didn't. So I got to order a clutch anyway. So I'm just not going to put the clutch together, but I can still put the inner clutch basket on and just put the clutch in with the through the clutch cover. So I could do everything through the clutch cover. I'll be good there, and then we can keep going. So yeah, that usually works, but not this time. Always a very good practice to grease your gasket surfaces, because you never know when they're gonna have to come back off right after you put it together, and this prevents that gasket from sticking to the case, which we all hate. Then you gotta buy a new gasket. Who wants to do that? Now we can put our gasket on. The grease also helps keep it in place for you. All right, had a little hiccup there. I was gonna put the inner clutch cover on, and then I already, for some reason, set the power valve in the inner clutch for some reason. So this has to go in this case first in order to work properly. So I'm gonna blame it on the heat. I can't think straight today. Let's get her back together. Maybe not a good day to build a motor, but we're doing it anyway. Ooh, baby. I am absolutely in love with that. Already had my life turned upside down. Now I got corn in my ears. Guys, you know all my builds, fast metric fasteners. All your bags, conveniently labeled exactly what it needs. So this is inner clutch. We just go ahead and grab it. Fast metric went ahead and put it together an awesome kit for this bike. So we're gonna be using fast metric fasteners for the engine, the chassis, the bodywork, everything. So fast metric fasteners, if you guys are in need of fasteners for your machine, go ahead and check out Fast Metric. They are top. For all the help they've given me on my builds, go ahead and check them out. They are absolutely amazing, and I love their fasteners, how organized they are, and everything just goes together so well. So if you guys are needing bolts, check out Fast Metric. Looks like these inner clutch bolts are gonna be about 9.8 Newton meters. Someone in the comments yelled at me for double clicking my torque wrenches. They were not happy about it. So this is for that viewer. If you're still watching, this one's just for you. Love when you guys comment, especially if you see something wrong that I'm doing, because I've been doing this a while, but of course, like anybody, I do not know everything. Far from it. So if you guys know something that I don't, please feel free to leave it in the comments, because I absolutely love learning. And anything that I'm doing wrong, I like to know. So there is something you see me doing wrong. I know there's quite a few things I like to get away with, but yeah, something like double clicking the torque wrench, let me know. I never knew that was a problem. I still don't know if that's a problem. As I am putting this engine together, I want to talk a little bit more about CBB 3D. One thing, if you guys have not checked out the website, did have a dramatic price decrease on our stuff. So I went ahead and dropped the prices on all of the tools on there. I realized they were a little high priced. Well, what happened was I ended up figuring out a better way to ship. I do offer free shipping, but I covered the shipping. It was just very expensive, so I had to kind of price the tools high just so I wasn't losing money on shipping. But I found a new way to ship. It's a lot cheaper, so I went ahead and dropped the prices significantly. So if there was something on there you guys were interested in and you just didn't want to buy it yet because of the price, go ahead and check it out. And if there's something on there you want to buy, good news is the prices are now cheaper on CBB 3D. So one other thing I want to talk about also is with CBB 3D, if you guys have an idea for a tool, or there's a tool you want to see made, or a part for your bike, let's say, go ahead and reach out to me on Instagram, shoot me a message, and then we can talk. You guys can shoot me over some dimensions and exactly what you need, and we can work out and get something designed for you as well. That is one of my favorite things to do, is designing these tools. All right, it's time to put our top end in now. We're using a Vertex piston. I pre-oil everything before also, and I know that sounds a little bit backwards, but that is simply because of the camera. I don't want to be having to move the camera and everything when I'm all oiled up. So I put 100 of these circlips in and they never seem to get easier, I'll be honest. You guys ever heard the saying, never trust a fart? Yeah, never trust a C-clip either. I never, ever take my finger off until it is fully in the hole, because they fly out. They have a homing missile straight to your eyeballs as well. But if it flies out, like, you're just cooked. Good luck finding it. You ain't gotta ask me how I know. Circlips in. Before I go and pop the rings in, I'm gonna go ahead and just quickly check the ring end gap. And then Vertex is calling for 6 to 9 thousandths per inch of bore, so we gotta see where we're at here. All right, this bore is 2.6 inches. Perfect. We are right in spec, so we are good to throw these rings on. Perfect. And then make sure whenever you're putting on rings, just pay attention. You see those T's on there? That indicates tops. So you want the T facing up on the piston. As always, line your rings up with the dowels on the piston. Your ring end gaps should never ever be lined up, because that will cause a very large compression leak. Most two-strokes have these dowels right here in there, so once you squeeze the ring can't spin 360. So usually if your piston has that, you can't line up your ring end gaps anyway, but just never, make sure you never ever do that. Got our cylinder base gasket here. Put a little bit of two-stroke oil on our piston here. Always make sure as you're sliding your cylinder out as well that you didn't come out of those grooves. It's very easy to come out of where the pistons line up to the dowels. It's a very easy mistake to make. So make sure for just before you set your cylinder down, make sure you're there on those and you're not gonna pop out, because that's not good. All right, I know it's getting harder to see, and I'm sorry. That's because I make my benches high. I'm a bit taller than usual. I'm not super tall, but I like a high bench. It's kind of killing me for filming right now, I realize. So I do apologize for that. Remember when I just said always grease your gaskets, because you never know what you're gonna have to take apart? Well, guess what situation I am in now? I just had to pull the cylinder back off because I forgot to put the power valves in. So I'm putting those in now. It's a little bit complex, this KIP system here, but getting it going, getting her in there, no big deal. So yeah, I just had to quickly pull that cylinder off again to get these power valves assembled. All right, so I'm working on the power valves, and I went to go install the power valve themselves. I've actually been working on it for a while because I'm trying to time this system, and it's been giving me some hard times. But I just snapped one of the power valve retaining screws, so we're gonna go ahead and extract that. Now, if you guys have never done this, I'm going to be using a screw extractor, and I'll show you that in a second. But so you want to center punch it, and then you want to make sure your drill is really straight and really center, and we're going to be drilling this out. So we're going to extract this. Now these are Loctited, so I'm going to show you the other thing. You don't want to just pound the extractor in here, because odds are you might snap the extractor. It's quite tight. So we're going to heat this up and loosen up that red Loctite, and then we're going to extract that. Okay, so these are the screw extractors we're going to be using here. Now, if you guys have never seen these before, what these are basically, you could think of these weird ridges on here like threads. So what you do is you drill your hole out to the right size, and picking the right drill bit is very, very important for this. You want to make sure you don't go too big or too small. You want to make sure the extractor gets pretty well in there. And once you have your hole drilled nice and straight and centered, like I said, you take this, you set it up in there square, you pound it in there. You want to make sure you don't go too deep, but you want to make sure it's got a nice firm grasp on there. The next thing we're going to be doing, since like I said, we have red Loctite here, we're going to be going ahead and blasting this just with some heat just to loosen up that red Loctite. You can see as I turn here, I'm trying to stay out of the way of the camera, but as I turn here, you can see that bolt is coming right out. And this way, doing this, we don't have to drill any threads, we don't have to retap it, we don't have to use a helicoil or anything. You just extract that broken bolt, run a tap through our threads, and then we are all good. So really, having a broken bolt most times isn't that big of a deal. They're usually pretty easy to take out. So if you do end up snapping a bolt like I just did, I just over torqued it. I know I shouldn't have done it, but if you do end up snapping a bolt like I did, it's not really the end of the world. You can get it out just like that. And these are about $15 for a set, those extractors, so they work really, really well. Sometimes you can use a reverse drill bit to get them out, but most times that's the best way to do it. Okay, so we got our power valves all assembled. That is all done. I went ahead and threw the cylinder and had back on. We got the engine completely together. I couldn't help myself. I dropped it into the frame, so I'm gonna show you guys that right now. Woo, baby, look at that. I love it. It looks so good. That with the purple, I think it nails it. I do have a Primamex clutch cover coming, so we're gonna have a nice black accent there, which I think is gonna look really good. And then I'm waiting on my stator, like I said, but I have a black stator cover as well. And we're gonna have a couple little black accents here and there, so it's not gonna be all that bronze, but I think that's looking pretty trick. And when the whole bike is done, I think this is gonna look fantastic. I had to drop it in the frame. I could not help myself. You can't just build an engine like this, powder coat the frame, and not drop it in. Man, look at that thing. This is always the point of the builds where you get really excited, because now you start to see the progress. Before, when you're just doing like one piece at a time or building the engine, you can't really see the progress. But when you actually see two parts come together and you can start seeing the vision happen, that's when you start to see the progress. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the engine build on the KX250. It feels so nice to get back into it. I want to apologize for the delay in the videos and the spacing between the videos. I'm trying really hard, but with CBB 3D and this going on, I'm trying to manage my time. But right now, I want to focus all my effort back into the KX250 build, because my goal is to have this bike done and ripping by the end of the summer. So it is June, I think 22nd right now. So by August or September, I want to have this bike up, because I want to have it out this season. That is 100% the goal, is have this bike out and ripping this season. So I want to kind of double time on the KX250 build. I don't want to, cut any corners, but I want to get this thing done, and seeing it right back there in the frame is making me feel really, really good. You don't lose motivation on these projects, but it does get a little bit overwhelming when you have a shelf full of parts like that. It's hard to see the vision, but parts go together like that right there. It starts feeling really good. So stay tuned for the next episode on the KX250 build. I believe what we're gonna be doing is building the suspension. I already have it all torn down, so we gotta do some coatings on that, get it Cerakoted, looking all nice and good. So yeah, we'll be double timing the progress on the KX250 build. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please do not forget to leave a like, and stay tuned for the suspension build, and we'll actually see this thing kind of looking like a bike again. So once the suspension's ready, we're actually getting there. We got the, wait, hold on a minute. We got the wheels built, we got the engine built, we got the frame done, we got the swing arm done. Yeah, actually once we get the, we're actually closer than I thought. So, all right, stay tuned guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.